Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. We're going to talk about several different news stories kind of to cap off this week. And some good, some bad, some indifferent. But let's cue to music and we'll get right into it. Well, first off, one of the biggest stories this week that's already been discussed once by me, but it has been discussed a million times online, is the whole Xbox deal with Bethesda closing down 4 studios, including the ones that made Hi-Fi Rush and Redfall. The Redfall one, Arcane, I mean, neither of those was excusable. The other 2 were kind of like support studios. One did mobile gaming mainly, and I forget what the other one did, but yeah, 4 studios shut down. And you got to wonder, is this the future of Microsoft gaming? You know, are they going to keep buying up studios like they've been doing, spending billions of dollars on acquisitions only to close these guys down because they've bit off more than they can chew? I mean, that's a distinct possibility. I didn't like the acquisition of Activision last year when it was going through. I was opposed to it, and not because I'm a PlayStation fan or anything like that. That has nothing to do with it. I don't like the consolidation of so many studios under one banner. I don't care who owns it. I don't care if it's Microsoft. I don't care if it's Sony, Nintendo, whatever the case may be. That's too much in one location, and if something goes wrong, well, then the cards will just fall like dominoes, and you're going to lose several studios like this. You know, Hi-Fi Rush was a successful game. Very successful. It didn't sell like it should have, but, Xbox just dropped it. They didn't even announce it ahead of time. They didn't do any marketing. They just stealth dropped it one day, and all of a sudden everybody was talking about, well, Hi-Fi Rush the next day. Like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's great. It looked cool as hell. So, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get what they're doing there. But there was, let's see, who is it? Xbox President Sarah Bond was interviewed about this, and let's talk about what she had to say here. Bond said it's always extraordinarily hard when you have to make decisions like this. I'll go back to what I was saying about the industry, and when we look at these fundamental trends, we feel a deep responsibility to ensure that the games we make, the devices we build, the services that we offer are there through moments, even when the industry isn't growing and when you're through a time of transition. And the news we announced earlier this week is an outcome of that and our commitment to make sure that the business is healthy for the long term. Now, with that said, our commitment to having our own studios and working with partners to have games large and small, or a platform where you can play Grand Theft Auto, but you can also play Power World, or you can play Call of Duty, or you can play Pentiment, that doesn't change. In fact, our commitment to Bethesda and the role that it plays is a part of Xbox and everything that we do. It's actually been pretty fantastic. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to check it out. The Fallout TV show is on Amazon, and it's been great to see people fall in love with that universe, but also what it's done for the games themselves and the people going back and exploring everything inside of that. There are other great things that are coming from the studios later this year. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I was a big indie fan growing up, so you should check that out. But really right now for us and our teams, our focus is on the people impacted and doing everything that we can to help them through this hard transition. You know, it sounds like, I'll link to this down below so you can read the entire article, but it just sounds like excuses. I think personally, and I know this is going to piss off a lot of people, but I personally think that the whole Game Pass thing is garbage. I think it's bad for gaming. I think it's really bad for gaming. A monthly subscription. Now, I have PlayStation Plus. And people say, well, you've got PlayStation Plus. It's the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. PlayStation Plus does not offer day one games on it. Like, if the new God of War comes out, you don't get it day one on PlayStation Plus for free. You're either buying the game or you're not playing it until you buy it at a discounted rate or years later when it comes out on PlayStation, Plus. So, it's a different type of service. Game Pass seems to be there for people who don't, and, I'm not trying to be nasty, but don't have the money to invest in a lot of games. And I get it, especially in this day and age. It's hard. The economy sucks right now. And Game Pass has a lot of appeal to it. I've looked at it, and I've considered getting an Xbox Series X just to have that as a second option. It would give me more stuff to talk about and more stuff to show and all that. But, when I do look at the X, with the Game Pass, there's a lot of cool stuff on there, but Nothing in that past makes me want to go spend that money on an annual basis for it right now. Sure, there's a lot of great games, but I already have a lot of those great games. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a sustainable way to do things. If you have millions of customers out there that have Game Pass and you release a new game that normally would sell for $70 a pop, but you're giving it to them, how many of those guys are going to buy it? Most people are going to play that game, they're going to beat that game, and then by the time it comes off of Game Pass, they've moved on to something else and they'll be playing the next free game on there. That's just my thought on this. Well, let me know what you think down below. Do you think Game Pass is a good thing? Do you think I'm being a jerk about that? I mean, like I said, it's not the same as PlayStation Plus, but whatever. All right, Lords of the Fallen publisher CI Games lays off 30 more staff in yet another round of job cuts. These guys are dropping left and right in this field. I think we're really in for a hard time for gaming. As consumers, we're doing all right. As players, there's been a lot of great games coming out lately. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of discounted games coming up soon. I already saw that, Skull and Bones, the game I was looking forward to, but ended up balking on because I heard so many bad things about it. It's already half price, and that just came out a few months back. So, yeah, things are crazy. But Lords of the Fallen developer Hexworks is unaffected by this round of layoffs, but, yeah. 30 more guys out. This is a trend that we've seen this year, time and time again. It's getting rough. Big studios, small studios, nobody is immune to this. What do you guys think? Do you think we're in for a gaming apocalypse like I talked about a couple days ago? Or do you think this is just, I don't know. I think a lot of it happened when we had the lockdowns and people were locked at home. A lot of people were getting their checks from the government and buying TVs and buying game systems to kill time and all that. Well, now everybody's back to work and having to be grown-ups again, and I don't think everybody has the money or the time to play these things. I don't know. There's a lot of factors involved in this. A couple days ago, we talked about Nintendo announcing something new this year, a new console, finally, after, God, it came out in 2017, I think, the Switch. So it's been a while. And there's a possible Nintendo Switch code name revealed. And that is Muji, suggesting a minimalist design approach for the new console. So we'll be seeing something about this later on this year. It'll probably be in the latter half of the year. I think in June there's a Nintendo Direct coming up, but they clearly stated that they would not be announcing it at that time. So yeah, like I said, every one of these will be linked down below so you can read this whole thing, but the codename hasn't officially been confirmed in any capacity, but it does invite some questions and theories about why Nintendo would call its next console Muji. The translation of this name could be a sign that the Switch 2 won't be a radical departure from its predecessor in terms of design or functionality, a notion that several rumors about the console have supported. Shunataro Furukawa recently hinted that the Switch 2 will retain the original Switch's console/handheld hybrid form factor, something that has helped the Switch become a smash success for many years. So that's good. Nintendo kind of goes off the rails sometimes between different consoles and different generations and totally changes things up. It makes them completely different. So you lose some of that compatibility that systems like the Xbox or the PlayStation tend to retain because it's a similar design. It might look a little different and all that, but they're all using disc-based games. They might upgrade from CD to DVD to Blu-ray and so on and so forth as the technology increases. But yeah, it's basically the same at heart. Let's go back to talking a little bit more about Fallout 4. We talked a little bit about it earlier on with the whole Xbox thing there, just a little bit. But Fallout 4's first patch since Next Gen Update will add new graphics and performance settings. I've played a little bit of Fallout 4 since the new versions come out. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to really dedicate to it like I'd like to. But on May 13th, all platforms will introduce new options for graphics and performance settings, as well as further fixes and improvements, Bethesda Game Studios has announced. No further details or patch notes have been shared yet, but the update came out and it broke a bunch of mods. And, it didn't look or perform amazingly, but still, the game's 10 years old now, so it looked fine. But it looked like Fallout 4. It looked like a game in the Creation Engine. There was no miraculous makeover. You didn't take, the frog and turn it into a prince or anything like that. But Fallout 4 is a game that I hold near and dear to my heart. I've loved it since I first played it, and I still enjoy it. And eventually I'd like to get through it one more time on this next generation. But I might wait a little ways until they get some more of these fixes done and get things optimized and smoothed up a little bit. God of War Ragnarok. You guys might remember I did a full playthrough of this game. And PC version's coming out very soon, so that's nice. PlayStation, Sony's finally loosening up the reins a little bit and allowing more and more games to come out on the PC. Sometimes with very bad results, like The Last of Us Part 1 was just an absolute horror show. But, time will tell. Hopefully they'll get this thing done right and all that. Because there's a lot of games, a lot of exclusives that, PC players would love to play. I've got a good friend that he only plays PC, and he can't wait. When God of War Ragnarok came out, he talked to me about, oh, how is it? It's great. It's this, it's that. It's so much fun. I can't wait until it comes out on PC. And it'll probably be a couple years. And here we are. I think we're coming up on 2 years now. So hopefully we'll hear some more about this soon. And the PC players will be able to enjoy that. We're going to end this off with on a high note. Hi-Fi Rush, the studio that was... one of the studios that got closed down was the one that made Hi-Fi Rush. It's being reverse review bombed right now on Steam and whatnot with positive reviews. And that's just showing the love from the community and from the gamers to this studio and to this game, this Tango Gameworks, and just showing them that, even though things are bad right now and all that, that they were appreciated what they did. And, as sad as that is, hopefully these guys will find jobs within the industry now. I really think if these big studios crash and burn, and in fact, I almost hope they do at this point, because like I said, with the consolidated power all in one location, if something goes wrong there, you lose a lot. But if all these developers that are getting canned, now, some of them are going to leave the industry altogether. They're going to be frustrated and aggravated and be like, peace out, I'm done. That's sad, because we're going to lose a lot of talent there. Some of them are going to come back and just go work for other companies, and say, all right, well, I'm going to fulfill a role here or there, whatever. Okay. But others are going to be like, you know what? I'm never letting this happen again. I'm going to start my own thing. I'm going to create my own studio. And they're going to band together, and they're going to create some independent studios. And hopefully a lot of this talent will get out there and start making some independent games, some AA games, some indie games. I've played some really, really good ones in my time, and they can be absolutely complete bangers, a lot of fun. So hopefully that's the case in this. But yeah, Hi-Fi Rush getting reverse review bombed. I'll say that one fast a few times. Anyway, let me know down in the comments what you think of all this news this week. It's been kind of a wild roller coaster ride. Hopefully next week gives us some more good news than bad. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.